Everybody's Big E. Welcome to Big E's YouTube channel. The day after, yes, the day after the big boom happened in Maple Grove. So, what are we doing about it? Well, slept on it, thought about it over. So, I had some work to do today, but I had a couple minutes, so I decided to tear into the turd, see if my worst nightmares are true. So, I'm going to take you guys with here. See if I can set up this tripod so it actually is workable for you guys. Let me set this up and see if it'll stay. I don't think I'm getting a good angle here. Alright, so we have our valve cover here for the driver's side. So let me tilt you down a little more here. So have our valve cover here. So we've got the bolts loose. I'm gonna go ahead and let me set this to the side. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna inspect. I see nothing obvious right off the get-go, but we're gonna look here. Cylinder 1 looks good. Cylinder 3. Five and 7 push rods look good, and 5 and 7. Everything looks good there. So now the driver's side looks good. So I'm going to put you guys back again, if you don't mind. I'm going to put the valve cover. I'm just going to set it on for now. There's no junk in there. Everything looks clean. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to set this valve cover on just to keep any junk that's flying through the air, or if my son comes flying in here with dirt, he likes to make smoke. Not that it goes in the engine. So I'm just going to set that valve cover in place. Now I keep the back bolt in because the clearance with the cowl is so, the cowl reaches over pretty far and you won't get that bolt in. So now I'm going to bring you guys here. Hopefully this thing stays. So same deal. We're going to go ahead, we're going to pull this valve cover off. And you see I've already pulled the fuel injection harness off, TPS, map sensor, idle, the IAC connectors, and pulled that harness out of the way. And the alternator, I had to take the alternator off too to get it off. So I'm going to go ahead here and we're going to take you guys with the ride here. Cylinder 8, I know sometimes I used to have a problem with adjusting, but cylinder 8 looks good. 6, 2, 4, and 2. They all look good. I don't see anything obvious. There's no cracked spring. There's no bent, nothing, no shavings, nothing like that. So, that's a good sign. So I'm going to put the valve cover. I'll set it on then. There we go. Good enough. I'll put that down later. So anyway, because I'm trying to hold the camera and the valve cover at the same time, so I'll put that back on. But basically now, what that tells me is that my biggest fear yesterday when I left the track was that we either broke the timing chain or something happened with the valve timing. We whacked the heads and the heads are jumped. So these particular, my cylinder heads have been redone twice now. So for me to get them done again, run into interference issues with the valve to piston clearance. Seeing that now tells me that everything looks okie dokie. Try cranking the engine over. It makes compression, so that tells me that the timing chain did not break, which is, if that's the case, that's going to be great, because that's going to save a ton of money. I'm not 100% sure if the timing chain jumped a tooth. If that's what caused the bang, it could. But I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the motor out and put it on the stand. We're going to pull the front of the motor apart. We're going to look at the timing chain. And I'm leaning towards it jumped a tooth or two. And that's why now it won't start. Hopefully the chain's not broken. If the chain isn't broken, that means the Valvetrain's okay. If it didn't jump too much. So we won't know until we pull the front of the motor apart. And if we're going to go that deep, we might as well pull the motor out. And I think what I'm going to do too is I'm going to go ahead and get a degree wheel. I'm going to degree the cam in just to make sure that the valve timing is perfect, and that way that also helps the ignition timing be spot on. So I don't think the motor is done. I think there's a possibility we dodged a huge bullet here. This could have been catastrophic, where we probably would have had to junk the motor. But I think we dodged the bullet. Hopefully it's only a timing chain. But I still want to pull the motor apart because it's so much easier to time everything in with the motor out. So I just have to find where I'm going to do that at. So I just wanted to give you guys an update of what happened yesterday, with the bang. Between thinking it was the engine, to a drive shaft, to a locked rear, to whatever. I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody yet, but I'm leaning towards it's the timing chain jumped. And if that's the case, I mean, that's going to be a heck of a lot cheaper than a new set of cylinder heads. So I'm hoping we may get out yet this year, but I'm not 100% sure. But I just want to give you guys an update. And obviously I'm going to have content on everything once we get the motor out, because who wants to see a video of me, ripping my hair out, pulling the motor out of this thing? We're going to pull it out, we're going to get it on a stand. And then we're going to start tearing into seeing what it is. So that's the game plan. So I'm going to keep you up to date on that. And try and see if there's some other stuff that I can get planned together for some content for you guys while we're waiting on this. So anyway, want to let you guys know, really nothing to learn, just keeping you guys informed and in the loop. And hopefully we'll be able to get to the track and see you guys out of the track. Hopefully, I would say by late summer, hopefully. But I will keep updates once we get to that point. So anyway, like and subscribe. Take care of each other. Watch out for each other. We'll see you next time right here at Big E's. Bye for now.